You're watching Reality Check. This is what we've been told, that in about 30 minutes from now, Goa will have a new Chief Minister and not one, but two Deputy Chief Ministers. All of this comes at the end of an almost surreal day, which saw the usual courtesies observed during a period of mourning done away with. The race to appoint a new Chief Minister in Goa began moments after or even before the announcement of the death of Chief Minister Manohar Parrikar and continued virtually unabated as the late politician lay in state. The Congress was first off the blocks, writing to the governor to stake claim during Mr Parrikar's final hours, saying now that he's gone or about to go, the BJP government has lost its majority since the allies' support to them was conditional on Mr Parrikar remaining Chief Minister. In the past 48 hours, they've written two such letters, even paying a visit to the governor at Raj Bhawan. Now, the BJP, not to be outdone, flew down Union Minister Nitin Gadkari to hold a series of negotiations with its allies to select a new Chief Minister the very night of the declaration of Mr Parrikar's death. And this continued right through today. All those hours of hard bargaining has culminated in the BJP getting its man, Pramod Sawant, the Speaker of the Goa Assembly, appointed as Chief Minister. And the allies getting their piece of the pie, two Deputy Chief Ministers, Vijay Sardesai of the Goa Forward Party, who you're seeing on your screen, and Sudhin Dhavlikar of the MGP. Both of them are current ministers in the present government and will now be elevated to Deputy Chief Ministers if all goes according to plan. Because remember, with Indian politics and particularly with the politics of Goa, there's always a twist in the tail. Amit Shah just emerged from a meeting just a few minutes ago and said this.
अभी गोवा में उनके जाने के बाद नई सरकार की गठन की प्रक्रिया चली गई। भारतीय जनता पार्टी के वरिष्ठ नेता और केंद्रीय मंत्री श्री नितिन गडकरी जी यहां पर हैं। हमारे दोनों साथी दलों से और निर्दलीय साथियों से वो चर्चा कर रहे हैं। कुछ ही समय में उनको चर्चा कर गोवा के नए मुख्यमंत्री का निर्णय कर दिया जाएगा।
All right, so Saurav Gupta, my colleague, joins me from Panjim. Saurav, what do we make of this now? Amit Shah saying that the negotiations are still going on, but we were led to believe it was a done deal and the swearing-in was supposed to happen in half an hour.
Absolutely, Vasu. And if that's not enough, what Amit Shah said was inconclusive, then here's what's the latest. We have now reason to believe that the two MGP, the Maharashtravadi Gomantak Party MLAs, also came to the Sidade Goa Hotel, which is where these meetings were taking place. Why were they there? Who did they meet? What were they doing there? Is something that we don't know yet. But it's interesting that they were there when they belong to the other party and when they've refused actually, as per sources in the MGP, to sign on that letter of support till they are assured of a cabinet berth. So, things are changing by the minute. We've been told at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock this afternoon that the swearing in will happen this evening itself by the BJP. Amit Shah maintains that part, that in some time there will be a declaration. But when, how and what that declaration will be is something that's still not clear. Though the BJP seems confident that they will have a Chief Minister.
Are you saying that one of the reasons for the uncertainty could be the fact that the question of who is going to be CM and Deputy CMs is sorted out, but it's still unclear about who's going to be Minister, and that could be holding things up?
Absolutely, and specifically it comes and boils down to these two MGP MLAs, because we have been given to understand that on the Goa Forward Party side things are pretty much sorted and they are willing to sign on the document. But even the Goa Forward Party is looking to the MGP to see what's happening, what's going on. And Goa politics, that's the case. I mean, the negotiations here are always hardball negotiations, and that's what's happening even here. So it seems that now it boils down to these two Maharashtravadi Gomantak Party MLAs and what they do. But though the BJP continues to be confident of having a swearing in and a Chief Minister, which is likely to be Pramod Sawant, the BJP has made it clear that it will be Pramod Sawant from their side by this evening.
All right, okay, Saurav, well, keep an eye on things because it's never a done deal in Goa. But let's go to panel. We have with us Shama Mohammed, the spokesperson of the Congress Party. Great to have you as always. Bharat Kumar Raut, senior journalist, former Rajya Sabha MP of the Shiv Sena, joining us from Mumbai. And from Delhi, Amrendra Sharan, former Additional Solicitor General of India. Now, Bharat Kumar Raut, if you look at how all this has unfolded, that, you know, we all understand that there is something like real politics, we have to put aside niceties. But, you know, right throughout this period when Mr. Parrikar was in his, you know, in his last moments, to the entire time when the funeral was going on, he was lying in state, hard politics, hard political negotiations were taking place. What kind of signal is this sending? I mean, not just in Goa, but, you know, to the whole country.
See, in politics, nothing is improper, it is said. So, whether it is a marriage or the funeral, politics keeps going on. That is the way this is happening. It is uncalled for, but unfortunate. But it is unavoidable. It seems, particularly in the case of Goa, where the situation is so thin that the power can shift to any side of the balance. Therefore, I think the Congress is investing no time to go and claim to the governor that the government is in minority and we would take the claim for power. I don't think that has happened now, and BJP is all set to install its new chief minister to replace Parrikar.
But you know, Shama, the point still remains that you have a situation where Mr. Parrikar is in his last moments and the Congress has already gone to the governor with a letter staking claim.
You know,
is this appropriate?
No, we went 2 days ago. If you know, they are doing this thing on a day when Mr. Parrikar has passed away.
Yes.
Now, if you look at it,
but you've gone today as well.
No, they look at the whole scenario. Is that they have a lust for power. This Goa mandate itself. They were campaigning in Manohar Parrikar's name. This assembly elections from 21 they went to 13 or 12. So that itself shows that people were against the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Okay, that was in 2017.
That's what I'm saying.
That was in
What I'm trying to say is
saying
they
now,
were against.
Now.
They were against. So this shows the Bharatiya Janata Party just forms government irrespective of people's mandate.
Okay.
Now, another important thing.
No, just a second. Let me just cut you off for a second. Let me cut you off for a second. I'm not asking you about what happened in 2017 where you argued that the BJP should not have been called because they were not the single largest party. You were. I'm talking about what's happened now in the past 48 to 72 hours where, while Mr. Parrikar was both in his last moments, on his deathbed virtually, and then also after he died, literally the day of the announcement of the death, in those 48 hours, you've gone twice to the governor with a letter. Shouldn't you have at least waited till the man's funeral is complete?
See, we went before. They are doing it today. See, they are the party. What they could do is, if they had the numbers, take an appointment with the governor tomorrow, go for a floor test. You know,
why not wait till the funeral is
done? They could also do that. Why not?
But both of you didn't.
Why are they in a hurry and they get 2 deputy CMs from 2 different parties, and these 2 people had already said, these 2 parties, the Goa Forward Party and NGP, they clearly said that if Manohar Parrikar is the chief minister, we will be with the Bharatiya Janata Party.
Okay.
So, and also very important thing in this.
But hold on, Shama.
One more important thing today we come
out. These allies, hold on, if you're talking about these allies, you would have been talking to the same allies. You would have possibly had to offer them the same deal. So where do you get to play the moral high ground?
No, you can't decide things when you have not seen what the Congress party is up to. Here you're seeing what is, they are giving 2 deputy CM. There is a CM from BJP, 2 deputy. Never in the history of Goa have you seen 2 deputy CM from different parties.
Well,
an important thing today is,
a lot of, history is sort of being rewritten in Goa.
And one more important thing today is that Rane, the tape of Vishwajit Rane very clearly said in that tape that this man is going to be the RSS wants this particular Savant to be the CM. So
okay,
that also says today those tapes, the tapes are.
I'm not
so
out of these tapes. Let me go across to.
The Rafael tapes are also genuine.
Okay, hold on. Let's not get sidetracked. Amrendra Sharan. Okay, just hold on. Amrendra Sharan. Before we get into the legality and the constitutional aspects of who to be called, just as a political observer, as an observer of politics, this idea that on one hand you have, Mr. Parrikar with his last journey, very popular leader, huge crowds. On the other hand, hard politicking. I know, as Bharat Kumar Raut says, this is politics, anything is possible. But surely as citizens, we have a right to question this.
Definitely. Definitely we have a right to question it. And I think this was not really proper or decent to stake to form the government on the day when he died. They could have waited for 1 or 2 days. What would have happened in a couple of days? They could have just waited for 1 or 2 days, given time, paid respect to the departed leader, who was unquestionably a great leader. So I think it's not proper on the part of the Congress party to have a staked claim at the time when the body was lying there in the house. They could have just waited for 2 days, 2 or 3 days, 4 days. What would have happened in these 2 or 3 days?
Right.
After all, the majority is to be tested in the house.
Right. Bharat Kumar Raut, you wanted to comment? Bharat Kumar Raut, yes.
Yeah, yeah. Here I would like to chip in. Mr. Sharan is an advocate. Perhaps he knows the constitutional provisions more than what I do. But if in case of death of the chief minister, what is immediately to be done is to invite someone and make him at least a caretaker chief minister. Here, would Congress have allowed any other caretaker chief minister to be sworn in? That would not have. Therefore, when the death of the chief minister was there, that time the BJP started negotiating for the chief minister. Had the Congress not made this type of hurry, perhaps this would not have happened.
Okay, perhaps, I'm going to get you a chance to respond. But let me just ask you this, Bharat Kumar Raut, that overall, no matter how much one wants to talk about real politics and all of that, isn't this just pushing Goa into a further state of political fragility? It was already fragile. Now without Mr. Parrikar, an even more unwieldy agreement, surely the better thing to have done would have been to dissolve the House and go for fresh polls.
Yes, you are right, absolutely. The death of Parrikar has really caused a huge problem for BJP, because in last several years, when there was no BJP, Parrikar got elected there. He was one of the first MLAs to get elected. Since then, he has carried the crusade of BJP all through. And therefore, the image in Goa was that it was Parrikar. BJP came subsidiary. It was Parrikar's party, and therefore, when Parrikar is not there, BJP has doesn't know where to look at. That is the situation. Therefore, they had to make this hurry. Like in last elections, they were in the minority. If Nitin Gadkari had to immediately jump into the situation, and when the 5 former chief ministers of Congress, they are fighting among themselves that who should be invited. At that time, Parrikar already did the deals with
in fact,
with other parties.
So,
send a letter.
No, but before you come in, I have just a second, Bharat Raut. Before you come in, Shama, we've got a news flash coming in. We'll try and get my colleague Saurabh back up, but it's getting even more bizarre by the minute. So it appears now that 2 MLAs of the MGP, this is one of the smaller parties which is supporting the BJP and whose leader is becoming Deputy Chief Minister, the remaining 2 MLAs are apparently moving towards the BJP. They're moving towards the BJP. They may well join the BJP, and this could again be part of the attempt for them to be able to join the new government that's taking shape in Goa. Shama, yes.
No, the other gentleman just said, the Congress shouldn't act. See, we believed in democracy when the assembly elections happened. We were the single largest party. We staked claim to form the government. And what the BJP did at that point of time, they stole the mandate. I mean, the mandate was for the Congress party.
But they stole the mandate because Mr. Digvijay Singh failed to put together a deal.
It was nothing like that.
Both sides tried. They won.
Single largest parties. Even look what happened in Karnataka. We had the numbers. We went to the governor. Governor said floor test after 2 weeks. We had to go to Supreme Court to get the floor test done, and that's when Yediyurappa said, no, I'm not becoming the chief minister. So we have a kind of poisonous party we are playing against. It doesn't believe in democracy. It doesn't believe in the mandate of the people. Well, look at Bihar. Bihar's mandate again was never for the BJP. So we respect Mr. Parrikar. It is the Bharatiya Janata Party which had no respect and was working behind the scenes today.
All right.
In fact, they could have waited too. They could have gone tomorrow. What is the hurry money for them also.
We in fact were supposed to have Lalita Kumar Mangalam of the BJP on the show, but we were told that she may not be able to make it because of
and even
traffic.
now we are the single largest party.
So you know, in all fairness, it would have been good to have someone come on to rebut what you were saying. But let me just go to Amrinder Sharan to ask you, Amrinder Sharan, that, you know, what would your advice now be? I mean, if you were able to advise the governor in this situation, that look, obviously the BJP can cobble together the numbers and form a government, but given the manner in which everything has been unfolding in Goa for the past year, do you think that there's any scope for the governor to perhaps think about her options in terms of what would be the right thing to do?
The governor has to try to see that a government is there which has the majority in the house. So governor must go through the motions, see which party has the majority, and invite the leader of the majority party or single largest party to form the government. Now it is the governor's duty to see that the party which forms the government, the person who forms the government, has always a majority in the house. Which party has majority will be tested in the house. So governor must see to it that there is a government. The government is of a majority. The government should also be reflective of the wishes of the people. So to some degree I agree that
this is not the wishes of the Goa people.
One second. Yes, go
I
ahead,
agree with you for that the
go ahead, Mr. Sharan.
Mandate was stolen, not only in Goa but also in Manipur. The mandate was stolen. So this is not in the spirit of democracy. And in fact, to tell you very frankly, the anti-defection law has also become a failure. Its objective has not been achieved because the speakers always act in a very partisan manner. So ultimately now we are in a fix. The governor must form a government. The government must be stable. And if it is not possible to have a government without horse trading, and there is no possibility of a stable government, then dissolve the house and have a new government.
Okay. Saurav,
this is the suggestion I can give to the government.
Right. Just a sec. Saurav Gupta is on the phone line, back with us. Saurav, now you have some fresh information about more jor-tor going on in Goa. What are you hearing?
Well, absolutely. You know, now what we are hearing is that the two MLAs from the MGP who refused to actually sign on that letter of support seem to have met BJP leaders and seem to be heading towards the BJP. In other words, switching sides from the MGP to the BJP. Now, how this works is that they become members of the BJP, as a result of which they do get, the BJP gets 2 more seats. The anti-defection law may not apply because out of 3 MLAs, if 2 move, that's more than 50%. That's what we are being given to understand. And also, the fact is that what seems to be happening, these are last-minute changes that are going on, because the BJP did say by 9 o'clock they'd have a swearing in. That clearly now will be at least put back by a few hours. But obviously, the 2 MGP MLAs seem to be now headed to the BJP.
Okay, it gets murkier and murkier in Goa. Just a second. Let me just now go across to Shaina NC of the BJP is joining us on the phone line from Mumbai. So, Shaina, really, I mean, just to step back a little bit in terms of what has happened in Goa in the past 24 hours, the question that we're really looking at is the whole political propriety of it. That on one hand, you have Mr. Parrikar, he's just barely been laid to rest, his last rites going on. At the same time, all these hard political negotiations taking place on a parallel track, now culminating with this, UP-style model that you have, the BJP chief minister and 2 deputy chief ministers. What sort of signal do you think this is sending out, China?
That's precisely my point. What are we doing? I mean, we need to understand that we're paying a tribute to a man who's his last for Goa, and his entire existence was for the people of Goa. Let's not politicize and make a political story right now at this juncture, when all we really need to do is give him the tribute and the accolades that he deserves and the respect that he deserved as Chief Minister of Goa, and more importantly, as a leader of exemplary courage, integrity, honesty and simplicity. So I
Shaina.
think that really these questions can wait for a day or two.
No, Shaina, we would have loved to have not raised these questions, but it's your own party leadership that started these negotiations during this entire morning process. Mr. Gadkari flew in last night at midnight and he was negotiating with your allies till 6 in the morning. Those negotiations are still going on.
So rather than giving Manohar Parrikar his legitimate due and respect, especially on the day where he is laid to rest, so to speak, I think that we should really restrain from this kind of commentary at this juncture and give it some time.
So is this, are you sort of,
So
I see, have we lost Shaina NC? Okay, we've lost Shaina NC. We'll try and see if we can get her back. But yes,
But
come
I
in.
want to
Yes.
say she wants to go against what her party is doing. That's what she's saying, that let's not talk about it. But that is what her party is doing. They are discussing today. What I was saying is anybody can stake claim. You can go to the governor. You can have a floor test. You know, you can go the right way how a democracy functions. But the Bharatiya Janata Party doesn't believe in that. And you said it's in the form of UP. But UP, the CM, the two deputy CMs are from the same party.
Yes.
This is not from the same. You have
No,
one
but again, I come
and
back
two
to it.
different
I
parties.
come
How
back
are they
to
going
it.
to work
No,
together?
no.
Is the question also
Okay,
arises.
but hold on. If you just let's put those numbers up on the screen. If you are staking claim with your numbers, with your current position in the Goa Assembly, you would have also been short by at least 6 to 7 MLAs. Where would you have gone? To these same parties. What would you have done? They would have made the same demand. You would have probably had no choice but to accept them.
What Goa? You will see. We haven't negotiated. Goa Forward
Okay,
Party on
here are
what?
the numbers.
How did they
Here
campaign?
are the numbers. Okay, can we at least look at the numbers?
Srinivasan?
One second. Shama, let's look at the numbers. So see, there are the numbers. The BJP had 12.
We have
You have 14. But they have 3 plus 3 plus 3. So they have 9. So that takes them to 21. You are still at 14.
But
So on what basis then are you saying that you should have been allowed? And had you been allowed, you would have had to do the same deal making.
See, even if we are deal making, what I'm trying to say is, yes, we can make a deal. We can go to the governor. You can have a floor test. After that, we can go in the right way how democracy works.
Right.
But here, what happens is, in any way, and the mandate, even the Goa Forward Party, when they campaigned against the BJP. You know it very well. Now, they are a party who campaigned against the BJP and forms the government with the Bharatiya Janata Party.
I mean,
it's
that
not
is
the
now
people's
part
mandate.
of. No. That
So
is
that's
part of
not
that. Hold on.
So we need
Okay.
to go. This is a democracy,
That
and
is
people's
part of-
mandate is important.
That
We
is part
can't-
of
It's a
coalition.
stolen
Hold on,
mandate.
Shama. That's part of coalition
But
politics.
not when
Hold on.
You
fought
campaign against the other party.
Hold on.
Coalition
you
is
have-
completely different.
you
You're
have-
campaigning against the Bharatiya
You've
Janata
been
Party.
political rivals with the Telugu Desam party. You ally with them. You've been political rivals with the left. You ally with them. So this is no party has the monopoly on this. But last quick comments from everybody. Bharat Kumar out. Overall, we still are waiting for the end of this Goa story. The last line has yet to be scripted. But if this is what it ends up with the BJP, with their man as chief minister and these two deputy chief ministers, is that an ideal situation, you think? Is this something that Amit Shah would be happy coming away with? Or do you think this is not something that, this is not a scenario they would have liked to have found themselves in?
Not the ideal situation, but this is definitely not the ideal situation. Only thing I want to make one reminder. Something I thought of in 1999. In 1999, when in Maharashtra, Congress and NCP, Sharad Pawar's NCP and Sonia Gandhi's Congress, they contested the assembly elections against each other. It was a very, very fierce fight. But when it was found that both were falling short of in number, then they came together. They were rivals the day before.
Right.
The next day, they made the alliance and formed a government.
You're calling
Right.
Chaukidar Chor hai and you're with Mr. Modi.
Congress
What is
was
bigger than that?
saying is not ready.
What is bigger than
having
that?
said
Your
that,
boss
now-
is called
now
Chaukidar
having
Chor
said
hai
that,
to
now I
Mr.
say that
Modi.
No.
the
Bharat Kumar out
the
is no longer with
governor
Shiv Sena.
of-
Because you introduced
Let
him as
Former.
former.
Earlier.
Let me complete.
Yes.
Let me complete, madam.
Yes,
Let me
complete.
Let me complete.
Complete.
Yeah. Now the only choice left with the governor is that instead of getting this rickety house in order to run, she can come forward and keep the house in suspended animation. Let
Right.
there be presence rule for a limited period, because just a week after this there are 3 by-elections in Goa.
Right.
So let that verdict come out. Perhaps that will be decisive.
Okay,
If not,
Amrinder Sharan.
then she has
Okay.
the time for 6 months
Okay.
to run it in.
Okay, Amrinder, okay, that's suspended animation.
So that
All
is the
right.
only
Okay,
way out.
okay, okay, okay. Amrinder Sharan, is that realistic?
There are
Because-
no reasons for a president rule.
Yes. Sorry, go ahead.
I do not think the president rule will be upheld by the courts. The governor's duty is to see that there is a government and the government which commands majority in the house. But the way things are going, for example, now I am told 2 MLAs are going to join BJP.
Yes.
This is a clear-cut sign of horse trading. This amounts to defection because they are voluntarily leaving membership of a party.
Yes.
But courts will take a long time. The speaker will not decide. So I don't know what will happen. But it's
Yes.
a clear-cut case of defection.
Yes.
They
Okay.
attract defection even if they are 2 out of 3.
Yes.
But I don't know how things are coming out.
Well, this is how-
they are more into real politics than
Okay,
on the
so this
legality or the constitutionality.
This, unfortunately, we are out of time. This, unfortunately, is the reality of Goa, and the concern is that
Not
even
Goa.
if you were to have fresh elections, it may well throw up a repeat of this kind of fractured mandate, with once again the keys to the throne being held by a handful of these MLAs. We'll have to wait and see how it unfolds. It appears now that the swearing in could now be delayed to 11 p.m. So the Goa drama, the Goa Game of Thrones, not fully over yet. But that's it on Reality Check. We'll have to leave it there. Thanks for watching. Good night.